Harmony tokens and like a Mesa stable coins, not necessarily in more Tranquil, which is really fucking cool.
Do you have a
like,
link
to
for that?
capitalize,
What's it?
Oh, if you type in tranquil.finance, you can find the
Yeah, and they're releasing like a
fan of
GameFi game like DeFi, which is, you know, if you're familiar with
I was pitching this on our stream to our audience when it was like 13 cents a unit. Now they're like 50 cents. But it's turning into an NFT game as well. And like having a locked Tranquil stake gets you potentially airdropped one of the Generation 0 heroes and so on. It's like DeFi Kingdoms before it launched, basically. So you can get in on the Gen 0 like distribution still.
Well, hello to the chat. we are also live streaming. We get distracted and real excited about these things. So hello and welcome.
Getting sidetracked because
Sanyika and TDavis.
Hey.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Excited.
We usually do a couple of minutes just shooting the breeze before we start the actual like stream because it takes a minute for people to flow in until we have like the full audience. We don't want to make
a
you
little
guys
critical mass
up all your details like it's in because everybody missed the intro. So welcome everybody.
Are you guys going to NFT LA? We just heard about that the other day.
Yeah, we sure are. We're actually planning on traveling to quite a few cities before that, starting with South by on the 11th, right, Sam?
That's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, like South by Southwest?
Yeah. Because we're here in Austin. We're either going to attend it or try to get a off-venue site to hang out at, or best case scenario, actually get a booth there. But it might be too late for that. Well, we're working hard on that.
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize you could have like an NFT kind of booth at like a music festival like that. I could see how there's an overlap though, for sure.
Yeah, they from what I understand, believe it or not, I've lived in Austin for 10 years now, maybe 12. I've never been to South by. It's really a shame. Sam, have you been to South by?
I have. Yeah, I've been twice. It's nice.
Yeah,
there's some cool stuff there. I was pretty young the times that I went, so
they have a pretty big tech. I mean, in the last few years, the tech scene has really blown up at South by.
I mean, I'm just expecting you guys to have like a big NFT Gamer TV tour bus.
Yeah,
just going cross country.
Exactly. That's what we're working towards.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
All right, I'm gonna play our intro. I got a little intro queued up, and then we'll get into. I'm interested to learn more about your learn to play system that you're coming up with.
Yeah.
Learn to.
Got marbles in my mouth. That's what the marbles are right now.
Does floor become just ground when you're outside?
Zoom, dude. All I gotta say about that.
Oh man, zoom.
Welcome again.
Shit.
TG
You're like
just
perfectly
put my cut off there, Max. You're like
perfect.
Earn to learn to earn.
Yeah, I said it wrong, of course.
Stop it, you little hyena. Stop it. Damn, TDavis made my like exhale of smoke look like nothing.
I my vape too. I'm getting jealous. I'm fiending.
His is intense.
Yeah. Roast up a little dab.
So I guess we'll do like a more formal interview. I don't think we've actually interviewed you guys.
Yeah.
But like our first question is always just like, one, how did you get into NFTs and like crypto in general? And then two, was Wax your first crypto, or like did you have to fall down a rabbit hole to get to Wax?
Yeah, how'd you get into crypto and NFTs, and then how did that lead you to Wax?
You want to go first, TD?
Yeah, I guess I can do that. So back in August of 2020, I was perusing websites. One specifically was called State of the Dapps. I think there's a couple other competitors out there now. I'm not even sure if State of the Dapps is still up. I'm sure it is, but I was
like a DApp radar.
Right. And they were covering. So if you don't know what a DApp is, it stands for decentralized application. And at that time, it was primarily Ethereum. In fact, I think only Ethereum at that time. And I was looking at it from like a developer perspective, not so much a gamer or an NFT collector, but from the development side. And I saw an ad for a game with this white cartoon llama, and it was called Upland. And so I clicked on it, and I immediately saw that it was available for Android. So I took a look at that, and at that time you have to understand that like dapps simply weren't on mobile apps. Like that was like really mind-blowing to see a dapp that's on a mobile app. And it's kind of maybe arguable if Upland is in fact a dapp, but that's besides the point. I was immediately drawn to it. That's how I joined Discord for the first time. I think I had a question I needed to ask, and went into the Discord, and that's where I met some of the most incredible people in the metaverse. My Metaforce co-founders, Recurrier, Left House, Mars, were all active in the Discord at that time, and then I was introduced to Wax from also through Upland. I know. Thank Me Later, if you know him from Upland, had a collection on Wax called Upland Fan Art, which has its own story. But I became part of that collection and minted some art pieces, and it kind of just exploded from there. Was introduced to Alien Worlds and Our Planet, so I've been in those since like the inception. And then it just keeps going from there. And then I'll let Sam pick it up, because maybe the story kind of continues from that point.
So for me, my first actual experience with crypto was in like 2017, buying a fake ID.
Nice.
Not sure if that fully counts, but I do remember having like change left over that I eventually sold for like $100. So I was pretty happy about that. And then a few years
so you
later,
got the fake ID and you got the $100 from
it.
Yeah. So that's a good intro to crypto. That's kind of like, yeah, that covers a lot.
I mean, that was how much the ID was too. So I like got it for free, basically.
Like, yeah. And you were able to use the ID to vote, I imagine.
Oh, it's all you learn governance.
That's the reason people buy fake IDs, is because they, too young to vote, but want to participate in the political process. I'm assuming. Sorry, that didn't land. I was talking shit.
Yeah. And then after that, I guess got into like stock investing and then crypto from there. And then that was like 2 years ago, maybe. And then about a year ago, I started getting into Upland, and like my first day there, met TD in the Discord, and he was explaining to me how to send to a property. And I was complaining to him that there had to be planes in a digital game. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me now. But at the time, I was quite upset that I had to actually take a plane in a world that felt like it could be designed without planes. But I like the realism now. I've come to terms with it.
So Uplands was also your first like NFT kind of like project that you got into, or did you do NFT stuff back in 2017 already?
Upland was my first, and then TD, after a long time or like a few months of me saying that I wouldn't get into Wax, he got me into Wax. And I'm very happy about that.
Yeah,
it's funny to see how much Upland has kind of seed funded a lot of projects.
So many.
NFT Battle Miners. I know Diablo kind of got his big start with Upland. I mean, for us, it was definitely like Alien Worlds and Our Planet that kind of gave us some early successes.
I'm looking for the projects that were spawned from the Farmers World boom. There's got to be a few as well.
Yeah, I guess it's the second round of new money. But you see how all these things flow into other projects. When there's one big game that's booming, then you just see all this money kind of flow into collectibles, and then the game kind of dries up, and then there's a little bit of a lull, and then there's some other big boom, and then people have a bunch of dry powder to throw around.
Yeah, it's definitely fun.
So you guys met through Upland. How did you like go from just chatting in Discord to deciding to start your own like NFTGamerTV project? Like, how did that come about?
Well, I think it was April 2021. So I guess you got to fast forward like maybe 6 months or so of playing Upland and being in Discord and Wax, that we decided we wanted to start covering all of these projects and, just basically helping people learn and understand, how to interact with them. Because even the most seasoned veteran wax collector or game player, like you still need to know how to play a game. Like we were just talking about Coin Pirates coming out with the PvP today. Like I don't know what to do. I'm going to have to go learn from somebody or trial and error, figure it out. And so we understood that there was a need for a space or a project or platform to deliver that kind of content, and from that the idea was born.
Nice. Yeah, there definitely is.
Definitely like your Discord, I think, is like one of the most popping Discords for any wax project. And like I definitely like when any update in any game comes out, I pop in there because you have everybody from every community talking about it, and it's definitely fun. Like having a hub of all the projects and also knowledgeable people from the projects. Even if it's not like you or Sanyika personally, that's like somebody in your community will know about the project and like inform all of us, which is cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but there's definitely been projects where it kind of pops in there and I didn't really know that we started covering that. And then I'll just go in there and be like, so what do I do? And somebody will explain it to me.
Yeah, there's a bit of a sharp learning curve, even just to buy a project, let alone play it. Okay, I got to get this whitelist. This whitelist has to do X, Y, and Z. I got to also own this other thing. And then when you actually get to playing the game, I mean, the Our Planet update, I'll take any like subjective comments on it, but it's very complex stuff. I mean,
it's extremely complicated.
Very
and it's like you got 4 days to figure out what you want to do with all your elements.
Yeah.
There's a 4-day overlap, so you get to calculate all of these like very complicated like dynamics of like ROI and everything, and with a 4-day data set, and then you better fucking make the right call.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I feel like they did it like that on purpose, so that a lot of
100%. That's their MO.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree.
They like people speculating. That's one thing I've learned about Our Planet. Is the more they can get the speculate, the better for them.
Lewis and I are saying they're probably not going to add any new collections to be like voted on for staking until after the burn event happens. So people have to rebuy their Aether because that's the best for like the aftermarket, and that's like more what they care about than the experience for their like collectors or like their actual player base getting dicked.
I mean, I asked Terry, I was like, hey, if Neon Space is going to be added to be voted on, I'll probably keep a higher stake in Aether so I can vote on my own collection. But if we're not, I want to go into RDAO. But like the fact that we might not even have the option to know that until after the fact is like, I don't know, it just kind of sucks. It's like I would like
that's frustrating.
A little more information beforehand and a little more time to be able to decide than like have to YOLO one way or the other and then just hope I speculated in the right direction or I lose a bunch of value on something I already bought.
But yeah, I mean, to get back on track, I mean, it sounds like you guys did something similar to like what NFT Insider does, like John just was trying to track all his own drops and he's like, this is a lot, I'm going to make some stuff to kind of fill a need for myself. And then the community's like, well, the drop calendar sounds really great. And then they latched onto it. And you guys kind of see a need. Like there's a lot of complex games and collectibles and mechanisms out there. I mean, ourselves included, like our blending economy, and we have an FT and an NFT and it goes through a contract. I mean, that's not exactly an easy entry point. So it does seem like there was a very, very big need for these sort of tutorials and these sort of ways to educate people that isn't connected to any one given project.
Right. Agreed.
Well, so all right. So I guess is that the next thing we go into learn to earn?
Yeah, I mean, that was, believe it or not, it was a concept that Sanyika and I had discussed like very, very early on. I mean, if I remember correctly, Sam, it was like one of, as far as the NFTGamerTV conversations, it was one of the very earliest, right?
Yeah, I want to say it was in like late January, early February, which wasn't too much after we had met. Because you were teaching so many people, and I felt like it just kind of was like, well, why keep doing it just in Discord and not build our own platform?
Exactly. And
that makes sense. That's
we've pieced it together. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's nice that it's such an organic like development where it's like you're already just doing it. It's just like, oh well, like there's a community of people organically around what you're already doing because you're helping them all on board in that way. So it's like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to go into this direction. Sorry to cut you off.
No, all good. At least Comic Standing has a good
yes, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that.
Yeah. Or it's not like just teaching. I mean, the word white paper, it's definitely not understood by everybody, because I've asked like laymen and just non-tech savvy people, like, have you ever heard the term white paper? And they give me back some silly response, right? And yeah, it's definitely a much needed service. Excellent comment there.
Yeah,
because there are also
if
some where
I
it
can
just
pull up
gets
the white
really
paper and we can just go through the white paper live. If I think that would help explain it to people, maybe.
Yeah.
Like if people have questions about the white paper, we can just go through it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely done that with Max. Max has been in crypto for a long time, and we were getting into some DeFi stuff, and I was reading through the white paper, and it wasn't that long. It was maybe like a couple pages for Viper Swap, and I was just looking at it, and I was just like, I'm reading the words and I don't understand what's happening. And I have a decent baseline of crypto understanding, but they would say just these really intense, dense concepts in about 2 sentences using about 8 different terms. I had no idea. So I just had to walk it through with Max line by line. Like, okay, when they say bootstrapped launchpad, just break that down for me.
A launchpad event for a bootstrap liquidity. Let me explain what that means.
It's not a lot of words, but it's a lot of content.
It's like, I understand each one of those words is an English word that I know, but when you put all 5 of them together, I have no idea what the fuck you're saying. Yeah, it's definitely nice to like break it down, and it takes a long time to build like the understanding to be able to read a white paper that has such dense like wording and be able to actually understand it.
So I posted this in the chat if anybody wants to follow along. It's the NFTGamerTV Learn to Earn white paper. And it sounds like basically the concept is by like participating in your tutorials and by learning from you, people can actually earn from the experience, right? That's sort of just like
that is correct. Yes.
And there's definitely a little bit of gamification to it as well, and with like the mentors and everything that we can get into as we keep going.
Yeah, the elevator pitch, I can just read it off here. That it's just a tutorial series platform that incentivizes its users by rewarding variable scarce NFTs and utility tokens for the successful completion of learning objectives, and utilizes the immutability and transparency of the blockchain to confirm compliance and accuracy. Which I'm glad we added a glossary, because the word immutable is also another word that not your average person might not know what that means.
Yeah, you kind of get in these echo chambers where you talk to a bunch of other crypto people, and then you don't zoom out enough to realize, like, okay, maybe immutable and yield farming and decentralized and all these things aren't as universal as I feel they are.
If you talk about yield farming with people in traditional finance, you're probably talking to like the top 0.5% of the most sophisticated investors out there. Like yield farming is insanely fucking complex to actually do well. It's just so commonplace in crypto. It seems like everybody's doing it.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah, I'm laughing at Jeff's comment there.
My old friend.
Oh man.
All right, so let's go to starting. Like, how do people get started with this if they want to get involved?
Yeah, is it launched yet too, or is there a launch date?
So
still?
It is not. One of the first things that we are going to do is in the coming weeks here, we're going to start out with promo stickers, and we have a fun way to demonstrate how the Mentor NFTs will have utility. This isn't in the white paper. This is something, I guess, that I'm maybe telling people here for the first time. We're going to do sticker airdrops to our members in our Discord. So if you're not linked with Honeycomb, you would probably want to go do that, so that when we pull that those wallet addresses, that yours is on there. And then we'll be airdropping the stickers out, starting with Sam and I, and then working our way down the team. And in the metadata of these stickers, we're utilizing, if you're familiar with Pinata, they use IPFS, and they had a new technology called submarining, where you can add the IPFS hash to the metadata, but have it be protected in private data, which is super cool, right? Because we haven't seen that before. If you uploaded something to IPFS, everybody could see it. And they came up with a way to make it so that you have to hold an NFT to actually see that data. And that's what we're embracing with the Mentor NFTs and demonstrating it with the stickers. We have a fun trivia app that we're going to be releasing, and it's going to be circled based around a lot of these interviews that we're doing here. Some of the questions for the trivia will directly be related to like the Neon Space interview and such. And it's just a way to demonstrate like the utility of the Mentor NFTs when we do that drop.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've been
link
waiting for
Discord
somebody
if
to use
anybody
that.
wants to participate and maybe get a drop. You can join here and then follow the steps like the honeycomb linking. I'm the KY. Actually, an interesting question. He said, "Are you going to host and reward other creators' content on your platform, or just original stuff? Like, will you allow other people to submit stuff to be on your platform, or do they have to be a part of your team?"
That's a great question. I don't know that we have decided on how we're going to present new content. I know that if you fast forward in the white paper a little bit there, you'll see how we get to badges, and we talk about voting weight and such. I know that when Sam and I have talked about it, we have said that we want to make sure that like what projects we put in a tutorial series on our platform, like they have to be very well vetted, right? Because the last thing that we want to be responsible for is showing how to, get rug pulled real hard, right? Like that's the last thing that we would want. And so the project is going to have to be, I would say, there might be some criteria with longevity or project history. There are some things that we've worked on in our Discord, as far as creating a score. And I guess I don't want to get into that. It's going to get too complicated and off topic. But just to answer the question, we haven't decided exactly how we're going to. We know who the first few projects are going to be, and they're well-established projects. Down the road, how they get added, I think that's still yet to be decided.
Yeah, and I don't think we're against adding like content, especially with building lessons, because as it gets larger and larger and there's more lessons to have, we're gonna run out of ability to make those ourselves, or time to keep making those ourselves. So yeah, I think it would be something that sort of comes up once we get further to that point.
Right. What we've discussed with the devs, and I know that I seen O'Little was one of our developers in the audience there, was like how we're going to be presenting it, and embedding YouTube links was what we decided on. And that opens the door for the projects themselves to create the actual content and then just follow an outline. Like they have to have specific criteria met, like mention the Learn to Earn platform, and then direct their audience to perform certain actions, and then visit the Learn to Earn app to execute those actions and that kind of a thing. But for scalability, we would want projects having the ability to create their own content. It only makes sense, right? There's only so much that we would be able to do.
So are you guys, do you guys each have your own like subject matter that you're an expert in right now, as far as like, your lessons focus on one thing and then Sanyika on another, or
as far as what, like when you're choosing your mentor to start your course with?
Yeah, and just curating some of this content, when you guys are putting some of these lessons out there.
I would say that it's hard for me to speak on that for myself. I don't know that I'm an expert really in anything.
Oh, good modest answer there. You're an expert in humility.
I think that as far as the like the mentor metadata is concerned, and you're going to have to, I guess, maybe know those individuals and what they've done, interviews, or where they're most active in the Discord, to get hints on where you should, in what course that you should use them for. I think we're always going to stick to that and keep it as true to their, in real life identities and likes and dislikes and that kind of a thing. I don't know. Did that answer your question?
Oh yeah. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, as far as
I'm peeking through this white paper, and this makes sense to me. You sign in with your Wax account, you get to choose a picture and name yourself, and then tribes, it kind of seems like a faction, like you get randomly assigned to a different color. It's like the Pokemon team or whatever. Like if you play Pokemon Go, you just choose a faction and you're then on that faction. But
correct.
Reputation score, this is when it starts being, maybe you can help me understand this, because that all makes sense to me as somebody who has signed into other dApps and stuff on Wax, but the reputation score sounds pretty complicated.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to hopefully get even more complex and complicated. We have an internal channel in our Discord where we've been discussing this. So just initially, all you really need to know is that the reputation score is going to be just based on the beta pass, and that's it. You either have it or you don't. If you have it, then you're not going to need to take any additional steps to identifying yourself as a unique human being, right? You'll be good to go. And one of the things that the app is going to be looking for is so you're the current owner of that NFT, but where did it come from before that? So it's going to be looking for that. And we're going to be storing that in our database. And as long as that the answer is, like, for example, the NFTGamerTV wallet, or Sanyika.gm, or my WAM, or any one of the team members' wallets, then you're good. But if it's anything else, so for example, we've given it to somebody and they've sold it, it's going to lose some of its score. And then at that point, if you try to enter into the app, you're going to have to take some additional steps, right? You're going to have to verify that you're not a bot account.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
that's actually really cool. Kind of like a checking the lineage of ownership as a proof of authenticity is really fucking cool as far as memberships are concerned. So that's
right,
that makes a lot of sense.
As we get down the road, where the discussions that we've been having is looking at the reputation score, like sort of in the same breath as like a credit score is here in the US, right? Because there's a lot of data out there. Like if I were to give any one of you guys a WAM address and I would say, hey, what do you think of this wallet? Is it a bot or is this a human being? Like you'll be able to look at it and be like, oh, that's a bot account, or that's a legit person, because we know what to look for, and all of that data is there. It's it just needs to be parsed and analyzed, and there's no reason why that can't be automated, right? And at least give a reasonably accurate assessment of that wallet's activity. So looking at things like bought versus sold, like that in of itself tells a story to some extent.
How many Alien Worlds assets do you have? tells a story.
Exactly.
Also, which Alien World assets you have?
Do you have a lot of shovels?
Yeah, only rocking a bunch of shovels and not like full epic rigs and like mythic stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting that you can find some of those consistencies to I mean, there's not a one size fits all answer to bots, but this does seem like a pretty
that's a really solid solution though, is to basically give people NFTs that identify them as not bots, and then if those NFTs change hands, lose that like identification status.
So is there some
they basically
way
have to re-earn it?
Yeah, that's
is there
really
some way
cool
to regain like that reputation? So like if you have certain flags that say, you're leaning towards a bot, is there some way that you can kind of build that score to reach a level of authenticity that's okay? Like how do you build your reputation score?
Yeah, that's a great question. And one of the things that we definitely have already talked about is the ability to appeal, right, your score, or for there to be arbitration, right? Like if you just simply disagree that your wallet has a low score for X reason, or it's flagged and not permitted, we're going to have some sort of avenue for those instances, right? Because nothing is 100%. And we've seen a lot of projects try to innovate on how to prevent multi-accounting and bots. And I know that there's been projects that they're so confident in their script, and they're like, well, our script said you're a bot, so we've taken all your assets. And nothing is 100%. It's impossible to be. I mean, you're aiming for like 99.99% accuracy. Like that's what you're aiming for. 100% is unrealistic. So that 0.01% where you've frozen the assets, or even worse, taken the assets of those individuals, like that's unacceptable. That's theft. That's how we look at it. And so
the one time that's already too much. Like you can't be like, there's a collateral damage. Like, no, there can be no collateral damage like that. That is not acceptable. Yeah.
Right.
It also sounds like the reputation score is less of something you build and more of like a 1-0 thing. Like you either have it or you don't. Like you're not gaining it over time, right?
Well, we want to develop it so that it is steadily increasing, because like the passes where they're initially going to start as beta passes, but ideally we would like them to continue, right? And there's no way that you're going to be able to scale handing them out individually. And so one of the ideas that we have is basically like a community policing of it, right? And like, let's say that the Neon Space guys have all reached a reputation score, like they're all in the top 1%.
I mean, we're pretty cool guys.
Right. And so at that point we could say,
this would be immutable though.
Hey, we really trust these guys. They have a really high score. Let's send them, X amount of beta passes every month to distribute however they feel they should. And then the onus will be on them to make sure that they are giving and distributing them out to trusted parties, right?
So you'd be able to then assign like that like trust to somebody directly.
Exactly.
So you're slowly expanding the degrees.
That actually really like, because my issue with the concept initially was like you said, there is no one size fit all solution for this, and it is ultimately going to be a human vetted process,
exactly,
which doesn't scale. So this, which this concept does, where it's like, no, so you're scaling the network of humans who have the authority to give this trusted. That's really cool.
It does seem like you're investing in the community in that way too.
Right.
Connecting with other trusted projects, and therefore giving the community some confidence on where to try to learn and engage too, so they're not going down a rabbit hole and learning stuff from people that have bad intentions.
I mean, I think community is something very important to us, because like projects don't build communities. Honestly, it's usually the community that builds a project, especially anything that's long lasting.
Yeah, that's
sure. I love "I am the keys" comment there. It's hilarious. Challenge accepted.
Master of efficiency.
Oh man.
So I was reading through this. The next thing I saw is like, I don't know if you touched on it, but the mentor NFTs are less like, this doesn't decide what courses you can do, but rather like gives you bonus stats on the courses you choose.
Exactly.
And there were some questions about like how we decide who's common and uncommon and mythic. What's pictured there does not mean that TD is only a common NFT.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these were just
so each of them have their own set of rarities.
Exactly. TD pulled the short straw, and he only gets a common.
Yeah. I think people wanted to know, like,
varying rarities.
Who drew the short straw to be the common one.
And to answer the question about Tales of the Crypto, so Sani, why is it different with staking values? I mean, people have asked about that. So I won some challenge in their Discord, and that's how I got mine put out. And then we asked if they could do a Sani one also, and they made it special for NFTGamerTV, and that's just the difference. And it's not a huge deal, and I'm happy that Sani stakes for more because he's awesome.
That was super nice of them to make the second one as well. I really
I was so excited.
I think that was the first NFT
yeah.
of me.
You're looking sharp in the picture. You know, the bow tie is nice and well tied.
Yeah, I like that picture. I like the eyes falling out right in the picture.
Yeah, I think I have an eye falling out.
So how do people get these NFT mentor cards?
So we're gonna have a we've discussed, and we haven't, if you notice on the pack drops, like that info's coming soon, just because we haven't nailed down exactly how we're going to do it. But I can tell you what we're talking about. So you guys asked about NFTLA, and we said that we were going to be visiting a bunch of cities. So the plan as it stands is that we are going to announce a drop date, and we have a date in mind in the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. And that's when the drop will go live. And we've talked about opening up 2 types of drops. So one being a low cost perpetual drop, and it's just there's no limit on the amount of packs, and it's just open indefinitely. And then a second drop that is going to require some sort of whitelisting, or it might even require the beta pass, where we're not 100% on the restrictions that were going to be placed on it. But that particular drop is going to have they'll both have mentor NFTs and our token NFT that you'll be able to burn for our token, and maybe some other things as well. But the one that's going to be behind the whitelist restriction will be limited, and that's going to likely carry the higher rarities in them. And how the cities or how NFTLA and all that plays into it, Sandy and I we're planning on visiting OKC, Denver, Phoenix, Las Vegas, San Diego, LA, San Francisco, and Portland, and then stopping to reevaluate. But all along the way, we plan on setting up like Eventbrites or meetups, and bringing in from those specific communities, bringing them together, and teaching hopefully non-technical people about NFTs and the Wax blockchain and LPs, and then giving them access to that specific whitelisted drop, if that makes sense.
That's super cool. Even like not even the non-technical people, but just like having someone go to NFTLA with people that are interested in NFTs and blockchains, and having somebody representing Wax, where it's like, hey, you can get free NFTs and also learn about the blockchain by doing so. I think it's going to be a huge utility for onboarding new people, because everybody that learns about Wax that's on Ether is like, oh, Wax kicks ass. It's just the education part is missing. Like, people don't know it exists. So all getting out there and incentivizing people to learn about it, like, that's a great idea. And I hope you bring in a lot of new people to Wax. Like, that's an awesome.
Yeah, a lot of Ethereum collectors we meet are like, wait, so where are the fees? Like the nature of the EOS chain and the way that it works, because it is pretty distinctly different from traditional like Ethereum based chains that are like, wait, so I'm not paying a fee right now. It's like, no, there's CPU, there's RAM, there's net. And so even for people who are well versed in crypto, it is kind of a certain level of onboarding necessary to understand how this an alternate chain like this works.
Yeah, and one of the things that we're super excited about is who has done a whitelist where you had to go get it on that whitelist in person. Like, I don't know, I think that it's going to be super cool, right? Like, what better way to assure that there's a human behind your drop other than handing them a business card with the QR code on it, or something else. Like, we're not sure if that's how it's going to go quite yet, but just imagine that. Like, that's super cool. I think
it's definitely going to help us with like expanding that human network that Max was talking about.
And also, we can maybe get you in contact with. We've been in contact with. There's an NFT museum in Seattle that like we're going to be a featured exhibit at. So if you guys are traveling up to Seattle, you can probably link you with them. And their whole thing is they're trying to have like bring like a real life community around NFTs, like an NFT gallery where people can go appreciate the artwork and meet each other and like see what other collectors are like in real life. So I feel like you guys would fit in pretty good there.
That's super interesting that you said that, because we were, Portland and Seattle are reasonably close, and that's I think like the next closest big city from Portland. And I said to Sam, I'm like, I don't know if we need to, like, it feels kind of out of the way to go up to Seattle. Do we need to do that?
Like, we all grew up in Seattle together. These guys are in LA now, but I'm still in Seattle. But yeah, we can follow up offline. I think that's a really cool connection there, because they're very focused on education first, and then showcasing artists. So their first exhibition was like, showcasing women in art and blockchain, and then this next one that we're going to be a part of in April is all about climate impacts. They wanted to highlight blockchains that were focused and on climate change and climate impacts. They're doing Wax and other similar chains and stuff like that. So anyway, I think it'd be a huge
don't want to be like shilly. They're like, we don't want your exhibit to be you just selling your stuff, is what they told us. Basically, they're like, we want education and like the artwork to be on the forefront, and the whole like buy my avatar to shill it to someone at 10x to not be a part of their thing, which I really like what they're doing. To, like, legitimize NFT communities as like real art and real artwork, and not just like selling a pet rock online.
Yeah, not a bunch of moon boys.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Autumn's. I think somebody's gifted me a sub, so I turned around and fired off Autumn's Toys. Gifted me a sub. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks.
So
I don't know. I feel like I like that thing about the NFT museum, but I also think that the 10x Moonboy avatar shit is part of NFT culture, and I don't hate that it should be.
Yeah, I went to the opening. It was a little bit of both.
It's not like that's not happening. I mean, I've 10x on an avatar. It's fun. I've also lost like everything on avatar projects in my pool. So, yeah, that's all part of it.
It is part of the experience for sure. You can't have one without the other. It was a little bit of both. I went to the opening and it was like definitely felt like a fancy cocktail party, and there's a lot of like very like highly touted fine artists that were being displayed, but there's also like a couple crypto punks that were on display, and then there was a few folks that had like Bored Ape Yacht Club hoodies and were like strutting around like they're the best things in sliced bread. So, like, it was a really interesting hodgepodge of the overlap of NFT community.
Yeah, it's a definitely diverse community.
This is a very excellent white paper. I tip my hat to you. This is a very nice white paper.
I'm curious about the token that you earn. What's the tokenomic structure and like mint cap and all that stuff on that?
So there's 2 tokens. Sam, you want to speak to this? I feel like I'm dominating this interview.
No, you're good.
Self-conscious about it now.
You're better at public speaking. So, but the tokenomics, we're still getting some more eyes on it. Just that's probably the thing we want to make sure we nail the most. So yeah, we're just trying to make sure we've got everything how we, not even necessarily how we want it, what we think might work best. But there'll be the NFTV token. That's the green one. And that'll be more so what you get through any sort of like bounties that we have, or earnings via the boosters. Yeah, and the mining. And then you could take that NFTV and use it to liquidity mine the Learn token.
Right. So one of the things that you'll when we roll this out, there'll be 2 courses that are going to be mandatory for the the alpha and the beta, and that's Wax 101 and Alcor 101, because we want to make sure that new users have a basic understanding of what an LP is and know how to create one. And the reason why is we are going to want them to or encourage them to stake to the NFTV liquidity pool. So add Wax and NFTV, and then receive back that Wax, which will be the Wax NFTV token, and then stake that on our platform. And then start earning Learn token based on the quantity of Wax NFTV that is staked. And then they'll receive back both. They'll receive the Learn token and then a small amount of NFTV as well. So you'll be liquidity mining both, but we want to encourage the in-game token to be spent in our web store more so than the NFTV. And then the web store will of course just be stocked with hopefully future projects, NFTs, we have our giveaway tickets. There's all kinds of things that we're planning on putting in that web store.
For the liquidity mining, are you pairing that with Wax then?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Are you doing that on Alcor?
Yeah,
I was going to say.
You should
Have
consider
you considered
DeFi
DeFi Box possibly?
Yeah,
They
we've
also do,
interviewed DeFi Box. It's on the table. Absolutely, it's on the table.
The fact that it routes your swap and lets you out, you'd be able to trade, your token against any token versus having to only be limited to whatever liquidity pool exists.
Well, they'll also hook you up with
dual
dual mining, like
and you can have
ours
them
token, you get
distribute
Box
the
Reward, but you're
rewards.
also going to, through their app, be able to claim our Neon token as well as the Box token. So like they'll distribute that for you, which at least for us is like smart contracts we don't know how to write, and like we've been manually just going through an Excel sheet and calculating like the blocks data and then manually sending everybody their Neon every
Sending
week. So
people
for us, it's a
Neon
big
rewards.
upgrade. But if you all have the stuff figured out on the back end, it might not be as big of a deal for you.
Yeah,
the other side of that would be that you could get DeFi Box to incentivize your liquidity in Box token. You can still have people stake to your platform, and then your platform would receive the Box token incentive, which you could then use to help grow the platform, or be transparent about, but at least it would be a revenue income that you wouldn't make through Alcor. And I don't think Alcor is really doing anything to develop their platform. I've been using it for over like almost 9 months now, and it's like, what are they doing?
Yeah,
sorry,
we've interviewed the DeFi Box guy. I know that he's they're in our Discord. So yeah, let's go ahead and jot that down, Sani. Set up a meeting with them.
My whole thing's like, who is the Alcor guy? Like,
so I know the answer. I couldn't tell you who it is right now, but like I found it. Like you have to dig for it, and I did reach out and shoot an email. I did not get a reply. So yeah,
that was my issue too. I tried to reach out and I find it's like no reply. And at least DeFi Box has a like year-long track record with tens of millions of dollars under custody on EOS, whereas Alcor has a track record of not updating their infrastructure for 9 months.
Yeah, Wapaka just posted that. That's who it is there. It's Avram.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you actually reached him, Wapaka? I can do that offline. That's totally
you can reach him.
You're getting off the rails.
We're off the rails, baby.
Yeah.
So one of the things with this liquidity pool that we were doing with like the liquidity mining of the in-game token. So I'm sure, as you guys know, like Sam and I have been in the NFT gaming space for a while now. It'll be almost 2 years, and all along the way we've seen what works with projects and what doesn't work, and we've seen successes and huge failures, and we've tried to hand select concepts and mechanics that we feel were the most successful for not only for the project but for the community as a whole, and kind of handpicked them and put them all into like a giant hodgepodge, which is now the Learn to Earn platform. And this liquidity mining was taken from a platform called Rainy, if you're familiar with that. So they're on Binance and Ethereum. It's Rainy, RAINI.io, and like they've done it pretty well, in my opinion. They have 2 in-game tokens, rainbows and unicorns. They're funny names, and like I think that they've really did a really good job with that, effectuating drops on their platform using an in-game token based on staking their BNB, which would be the equivalent of Wax, and their Binance token Rainy.
I see. Yeah, that's definitely, I feel like being in the space for 2 years totally makes you like veteran experts of this stuff.
Yeah, that's a long time in NFT time.
Being able to apply what you
grizzled veterans.
Yeah, being able to apply what you saw work and implement it is going to be a winning strategy, I think.
So this token, can you buy things with the token? What's the spend mechanism and the burn mechanisms?
So if you scroll down there, you'll see that like it's just a demo picture there, but like on that pack, you can see that like it's 500 NFTV, which is the Wax blockchain token, but only 5 learn, right? And it's definitely encouraging you to use the in-game token, which you'll obviously be getting from staking to the LP.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I also love the part of the way to get the token is like itself a pretty complex like metric. So like it teaches people how to, engage with something as complicated as liquidity mining.
Yeah.
But through like
is it going to require both tokens, or do you choose one or the other?
You could choose one or the other.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And so are both these tokens on the blockchain, or one's on the blockchain and one is in game only?
The green one, the NFTV, is minted. You can find the contract address in the tokenomics. And the learn token will be like strictly database driven on a
okay. Cool, that makes sense.
Platform.
So that's why like it costs so much more for the blockchain one, because you're trying to encourage people to use the in-game token.
Right, exactly. And it's essentially going to be rewarding staking to the LP, right?
So I assume then that the learn token is then non-transferable, right?
Correct. Well, yeah, as it stands right now, that's a great question. Nobody's asked that. I got to write that down. We haven't discussed that, I don't think, yet.
Yeah,
that's a great question.
I'm very interested. It's just in platforms I'm familiar with that do similar things. The database side tokens usually are non-transferable, is why I assume.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how Rainy has it. Like there.
Yeah, but why though? I mean, but why?
Yeah.
Because then like the only way to get it is to participate in the LP rather than being able to just buy it from somebody else who supported the LP. I don't know. I mean, I definitely get somebody who wouldn't like it being non-transferable, considering it's like blockchain, so everybody should own what they get.
Yeah, it's a great question. We'll have to talk about that.
Didn't Upland just make it so you can transfer UPX? Like, wasn't that a thing you couldn't transfer?
Right.
Before, and they just added that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's great.
That's transferable in game now.
That's cool. And they take a little tax on it, and I mean, UPX is technically no different than EOS. Just it's a token on the blockchain. It's just locked up in their platform.
You're just using utility wallets, and they're actually holding it all.
Yeah, they're not giving you the keys to move it, but if you had the keys, you can move it off chain, and they just won't let that happen. So that's an interesting discussion point. Let's I'm going to table that, and I commented it here to Sandy.
Nice.
Part of me is thinking follow the Upland path of like having it non-transferable at the start, just to sort of like let everything get up and running without that sort of complicating things, and then down the road making it a transferable token.
Yeah. So let's say it's not a indefinite no. I mean, if we're just taking Upland as a proof of concept with it, like it took them like nearly 3 years to finally, and it's still broken. Like it's not even really a feature yet, because you have to have it dormant for 60 days, which is just ridiculous. And so it's still broken, but at least they're moving in the right direction. But it's taken like 3 years. So
I think it'd be cool if like you could mint your avatar as an NFT, like on this avatar cosmetic thing. Like maybe it's non-transferable, but like if you like customize your avatar in a custom thing, then you could mint it into like, I don't know how hard that'd be to do, but I'm just looking at this like, oh, these are cool. Avatars are cool. Can I own this as an NFT?
Yeah.
It would be super
cool.
Well,
particularly because you verify on Twitter now. You can verify your ownership of a profile picture on Twitter. So having it as an NFT would be advantageous for that.
It kind of reminds me of like Clash.
Flex your digital Lambo,
Yeah.
Did y'all play Clash Dome, where you could make like a custom avatar basically and then mint it?
I didn't, but that sounds dope.
Yeah.
Max did this one project that was like a generative project, but you bought the attributes separately and then you mashed them together.
That was on Wax. What was that one?
But I don't remember what that was.
No, it was
maybe I'm thinking the wrong name.
Too. It was like Create or something. I don't know. I made a little avatar and named them.
Customize your avatars is what this is saying. Like earlier, you get to choose your avatar when you choose your name when you sign into the app, but it sounds like by using the app, you might be able to unlock things to customize your avatar. And I'm all about customizing stuff. Then the other thing here says is challenges. Like there might be like a window where you have to hold a specific NFT from your collection, and that would be like,
right.
I guess, to encourage aftermarket like movement and stuff.
So what inspired this was if you guys are into NBA Top Shot, you know how they do the flash challenges, like basically daily around that day's particular games, and you need to hold an NFT or a moment, as they call it, of a particular player that might be leading in points or rebounds or steals, etc. And so it's essentially taking that concept, because they figured out secondary market sales and how to really influence them. And even though they pump and then come back down, it's still like they still do it consistently, and they've figured out how to drive secondary market sales, right? And so it's just essentially like innovating on that concept. To give you an example of how this would work, say on a Monday, we might take the top 6 projects that we have mentor NFTs for. So like we can just say that's Immersis and Tag, Battle Miners, Taco, and Farming Tales, right? And that's only 5 actually. Okay, so those 5 projects, and whichever project has the highest secondary market sales on that given day, then you'll need that project mentor NFT for Monday, and then Tuesday it will be something different, and then maybe Wednesday we say whichever project sells the most NFTs that have the number 8 in the mint numbers, and Sani loves the number 8. Then whatever project ends the day at that leader, you'll need that project mentor NFT, and so on and so forth, and then all the way up until the last day. There's a snapshot will start, give people maybe like 24 hours to go out and obtain everything that they need, and then we'll be minting a new project mentor NFT based on how many people have successfully completed that week's challenge. And we already have somebody in the works for the very first challenge reward mentor NFT, and I believe you guys might be familiar with him. His name's Recurrier.
Oh yeah,
Uncle Rico.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that reminds me a bit of what like Crypto Monkeys does too. Crypto Monkeys game is so smart. They're just like, match these mints. If you don't have them, go buy them or trade with people. Like, even if you don't use the aftermarket too, it encourages trading within your own community. It's like, I don't know. It's definitely a smart way to like keep stuff active that could be inactive, because that's a big problem with NFT projects where it's like,
right,
NFT dropped 6 months ago, there's no utility for it or whatever, like maybe nobody will buy it anymore. So like being able to have a reason to buy NFTs that were previously released is like a very important part of like running a brand that isn't just a bunch of dead NFTs that nobody wants. So that's a really great point.
Yeah, I think building engagement with what you have in your wallet is huge. So, you feel connected to it. You want to hold on it. You want to interact with it rather than, like Lou said, just something that just collects dust. And you're like, all right, well, one day this will make me money, I guess, whatever.
Right, exactly.
I want to play these things. I want to play games. I want to feel connected to what I bought, right?
I think it's kind of like the point of doing mentors instead of just an NFT that would affect the odds. Like the idea is sort of to connect with the person that is the mentor and get to know who they are, because that'll give some hints maybe.
Yeah, and you're giving people names to like trusted names to a certain extent. If you're new to the space, you'd be like, okay, who knows their shit on Wax, and then like this gives me a general starting point to figure that out and see what projects are worth diving into, or people to talk to. Right now, Crypto Stash and Bozak are kind of the main onboarding, the on-ramps, because they have a big YouTube presence. So this is a good way that, you can broaden your roster of people you trust.
I didn't actually play the demo, but are you doing like YouTube videos that people watch, or is it written tutorials, or how exactly is the content presented?
It will be YouTube embedded links and written for accessibility reasons as well.
Nice.
That's also like super smart as far as like engagement goes. You're basically like, people are earning to watch your videos, so you're gonna get a shit ton of views on those videos, and that's a good way to get engagement on your content. You built a smart system over here.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm liking it.
It's a long time coming.
Usually, like towards like the end of our interviews, we do giveaways. I didn't
Yeah.
ask you beforehand, but I don't know if there's any NFTs you want to give away. Don't feel pressured to give away NFTs if you don't. But
yeah, we have our giveaway tickets always.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the private, but we can distribute it for you if you want. Like,
yeah, just shoot me a wallet. Oh, there we go.
Give.neon.
Marcy Sweetie. Oh man.
Yeah, your dog's still on the show right now, Max.
No, she loves it. I've been have you been bidding on any names on the Wax blockchain to go with the new project? You know how that's like a.
Do you guys have .NFTV or anything like that? Like a wallet?
NFTG and NFTGamerTV is our main wallet, and then NFTG is going to be our contract wallet. So that's where our token is minted to token.nftg. Was that the question?
Yeah, we were just curious if you bought any wallet extensions.
If you like, since they got cheap recently, it was like, a span of time where you could get them for 600.
People try to snipe ones. It's like the new version of like domain sniping.
Oh yeah.
Like people were trying to get. There was like the Meta.
So
when Facebook released that they were going to switch to Meta, someone tried to get .meta.
That was me. I started that name bid auction at 2,000 wax and immediately got outbid by Van.
And Van outbid Max,
and then Worker outbid Van.
It was just like, I'm fucking out. You can't compete with the wax.
Dude, the second Van outbid me, I was like, fuck, there's no way I'm getting this name.
It is an interesting way to kind of see what new properties might be coming to Wax, to see what names are getting bid on, because like .Star Wars was on there, and then
they got Spider-Man like before Spider-Man too. There's they throw you off. They grab a bunch of stuff. They like hit all the targets, and then some of them come and some don't. So like, it's definitely not like, because they got Lego last year. Lego's not on Wax, so it's like they own stuff that never came to Wax. But you can sometimes like see what properties are coming from Wax by what they're bidding on.
Soundboard's back on.
I'm gonna play our Marble intro really quick. We can't talk during it, but it's also very loud, so consider turning down your volume if you don't like getting blasted by sounds.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, everybody! Exclamation point play if you'd like to join the giveaway for the NFT Gamer ticket. Right?
You guys should have some in your wallet there. I'll be right back.
I'll show those off after.
God damn, dude. The market's just closed and it was fucking tendy day today. My put options are printing so fucking hard. 216% up today. Boom! Fuck you, SPY.
So these giveaway tickets, real quick. So if someone wins a giveaway ticket, they just redeem it and then they get something out of your giveaway wallet. Is that how that works?
Correct. It just picks a random item out of the ticket.nftg wallet.
Do you like burn it, or do you go to like a blend or something?
You go to nftgamer.tv/redeem, and then it burns the ticket.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's cool as hell. That's like so the ticket is basically a pack that opens for something out of the give wallet.
Exactly. And then you can also see where on the redeem page, like the past 3 most recent redeems, and then also some of the like higher value items that are in the wallet.
Oh, so you can check out the pool. Yeah, I like that.
And there's also a link there to the pool. So if anybody wants to just go to nftgamer.tv/redeem, and then you can it's toward the top of the site. You can click it and check the wallet.
I'm not sure if you already covered this, but I think you said the system is not currently live. Do you have a launch date for when people will be able to start
question. We do not. We will release a roadmap, and we will give a general time frame for that. But I mean, we're hoping soon. One of the things that we've seen in our experience, things go wrong is when things are rushed, right? And and one of the biggest problems with rushing things is when you're giving like too precise or too accurate. Like deadlines are important, right? Because without deadlines, like you have to have deadlines. You simply do. But if you give too precise or too short of a time frame to get things done, like that's how we've seen things fail, especially in this space, as new as it is. Blockchain gaming is basically still in its infancy, and there's just tons of things that we see go wrong still, even from like the most skilled development teams. And so we want to make sure
you're
that
preaching to the choir on that one. I'm glad you
the
said
decentralized
that,
space in general.
Yeah,
that's just the deal. You're not. Comes with the territory. These are decentralized space. Like when you launch something new, there is no like, oh, hold on, let me just take it down again and like fix it because something was broken. You can't fucking take stuff down once it's been like deployed.
Right.
So
and one of the advantages that I think we have as a project is we will be deploying a drop, and obviously that will bring in revenue, but it's not going to be our main source of funding for the project. We were able to secure an equity investor, and
nice.
Yeah. And so, I know I've said this a lot, that projects use their drops as like the modern day Kickstarter, right? They'll put out a white paper and say, here's what we want to do, and this is what it'll look like, and this is the skill set that we have. We have artists, developers, etc., but nothing's ready to go yet, and that's because they're using that drop to fund everything. And it's worked in some instances, and others it's failed miserably. Tons of money has disappeared, and we won't have to worry about that. We'll have a nice little nest egg that we can start off with, and then through the drop continue to grow with that revenue stream.
Yeah, I love that you said that. That just hits the nail on the head so perfectly.
Yeah, definitely.
Because particularly, like there's a lot of projects that pay themselves in their own token, and then they create this whole token economy, then pay themselves in it, and then dump it because they want to get paid.
Right.
It's just there's so many
and
pitfalls that you see,
and then their project can't pay for development, and then they just abandon the project. That happens pretty
or
frequently.
they try to pigeonhole a new sale into when it's really not necessary because they need to raise funding, and it's
right.
It's funny how consistent that is, and so I'm glad you're breaking the mold in that way, because even though it drives people crazy, people just keep doing it.
Oh yeah, and they will. I don't know if you guys saw the War Space thing yesterday. But
what's the hot gossip?
Yeah, laid on me.
So I don't want to misquote anything, but from what I understand, it seems like maybe the parent company or somebody related to Workspace was trying to get whitelisting for like 3 essential clones of what they were doing, and somebody obviously just discovered that, and it became a whole FUD session in their Discord.
Oh, they were trying to whitelist new collections.
Right.
So they could copy all of the source code, shift it around. Oh, wow. Yeah.
That is pretty.
Yeah, that was someone on their team.
Oh, yeah. It was, from my understanding, it was like the parent company of the Warspace project.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Those other ones were like they were carbon copies minus like a few asset changes. Like there were different images, obviously a different name, but if you looked a little deeper, it was just identical. It was the same concept, the same mechanics, same token. Yeah, see, MJ Doja's talking about it here.
Oh, of course, go to another blockchain. We've been spitballing an idea that we would have like a wax game bingo card. And there'll be like squares with like land sale, staking economy, moves to another blockchain. It doesn't hit their deadlines or makes some crazy roadmap and misses it every time.
Definitely staking. Oh, a DAO token distribution.
Governance, DAO tokens.
Yeah,
we don't know how to make a DAO, but you will get a vote. We promise you.
Yeah. Once you've done your land sale and your collection stagnated, you got to do a DAO. Some kind of DAO token distribution.
And there's nothing wrong with DAOs. The part that drives me crazy is like, yeah, we have a DAO token. You're gonna vote in our Discord. Like, that's not what is wrong with you.
Right.
So really quick, the winners of this race, first place is gonna get the NFT Gamer ticket, and then second and third will get a Neon Space Tales the Crypto Collab Pack. I'm gonna save some of the tickets until you guys do your launch, because when you do your launch, I want to give some away to promote the So we have them away for first, and we have a couple extras that we'll save for a later date.
Sweet.
Oh, this is perfect. Discord invite competition. That's clutch. Yeah.
I was gonna say like saying LFG in the Discord.
Oh,
that happens a lot.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Just that whole hype.
All the hype words. So yeah.
It's so fun. It's so like overwhelming. It's just like turns me off these days.
Guaranteed returns is maybe a good one. That happens frequently.
Oh yeah.
ROI also just.
I remember one person told me
talking about fucking video games.
Remember that time that there was a game that told us we could buy a house with our token? I remember.
Pepperidge Farm members.
Yeah, she was telling us that AXP would be like $10 a token, and that you would for sure be able to buy a house or a car with your stake, like last August.
I feel like honestly, any type of speculation on a game token from the game creator should be on that bingo card.
Real quick, exclamation point play. The it's time is the audio cue if you're new to our stream to join the giveaway. So exclamation point play if you'd like to join the Marble Race.
Discord gets hacked is a good one for ETH projects. That's been happening a lot.
Oh yeah.
Which shocks me because I'm like, how do you run a massive company without 2FA on your Discord? I don't know. It surprises me every time, but
they found a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, fucking stoned.
Well, what games have you guys been playing lately? Sorry to interrupt you there.
I was just gonna say that I started this interview in the Top Shot queue, and I'm still in the Top Shot queue. 6,500 people ahead of me. It's crazy.
What are you trying to get?
They have some standard pack. It's a standard pack drop. So just some packs from the Series 3.
Is there a way to bridge those off of their platform, or is it all like a centralized kind of deal?
It's pretty centralized, but it's also pretty massive. I mean, it's I mean, I put like Upland and Top Shot up there as like two projects that are just enormous and has such a crazy sized user base. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of Top Shot collectors.
I get in LA. Decentralized stuff. If the centralized thing running it isn't just full of crap, like if centralized force running the show isn't screwing people over, then it's not a huge deal.
To be honest, I feel like the future of a lot of like NFT gaming stuff is very almost certainly like through centralized like marketplaces and stuff, probably by like the actual
Blankos is my favorite game. Blankos has been centralized like the entire time I've been playing it, and also still one of the better like investments and games I've played. And I think if they decentralized it, people would have tanked the economy and like botted it and stuff. So like I don't know, it's kind of like until they figure that stuff out, it can't be 100% decentralized.
I need to check what those pugs are worth now. I still have like 4 or 5 of them, I think.
Yeah, the
Pug Life.
Yeah, those are my favorite ones. I love those ones.
I bought a bunch of those fucking white ones that are just like I didn't, and then I forgot, like I didn't even pay attention to there was this whole like blend thing where like you could blend them up into like
the atom.
So like suddenly
I
all
saw
the
that for like 7x during the blend event because people
like I didn't blend, so I just like had them, and I was just like, all right, I like sold one and covered all the rest of them. I was like, all right, and I just have a bunch of these white guys still. I just bought them because you can color them with the gumdrops, and they actually change like a lot. So I was like, oh, these are dope.
Yeah, if you get the right gumballs, they could definitely be cooler than some of the like custom ones.
Yeah, like I wasn't gonna do the blending thing, but I am definitely like holding those so that I can until I get cool ass gumballs to like.
It's also they opened their Ether bridge, so it's not totally centralized anymore. You can now move your Blanco to a decentralized wallet, and they have an official collection on OpenSea. You can sell it on I think like Rareables or OpenSea. So I don't know. Blankos has done like nothing but good stuff, and they took their time. Like they could have rushed that and screwed it up like 8 months ago, but I kind of like that they're moving slowly, kind of like what you guys are doing, making sure stuff works before you just do a full launch and like screwing the economy.
Yeah, I definitely.
My second.
Hey,
nice.
I
definitely
like. You guys go back. Oh, you got a soundboard too. You can have soundboard battles.
I definitely got into like the NFT space from more of the crypto side first.
I overinvested by a lot.
So I have a higher appetite for like the decentralized side of it, and never got too into like the I guess I bought like $20 worth of Uplands, and I own a good amount of stuff in Brooklyn, so there's that, which is nice.
I just sold a property in Upland.
I've been
decided to move to
Upland
LA.
stuff fucking just trucks along. It's pretty nice in the background, just kind of like
they have one of the best onboarding processes for any NFT game I've ever seen. Like that's the one thing I say. Like Upland figured it out. It's like they incentivize new players in a way that like doesn't make you feel like you're just getting screwed by whales. Like you actually have a shot to get into it, which I appreciate that about Upland. And most games on Wax have not figured that out. It's like it becomes like a funnel into whales, and like it's discouraging for new players because you like if you figure the economy out, you're like, oh, there's no way I have it.
I love these sound things. Sorry.
Yeah, you know, Upland has like Facebook ads and like Instagram ads now. I mean, it's everywhere, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, and apparently Detroit is going to be the next city that they.
Oh shit!
Did you mint anything in LA?
Did I?
Yeah, or anyone really?
Oh yeah. Sandy made out like a champ. He hit like almost all collection properties.
Oh yeah. Did you have the Crypto.com arena?
That would have been cool.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right, the Crypto.com arena would have been up for sale then. That was the one I was like, damn, that's a fucking someone's gonna be. That's like somebody's digital Lambo, I bet.
Well, I wonder if it was available. Was it? That could easily be a property they like grade out.
It might have been a landmark.
Yeah,
I think I heard that might have been like one of those auctions because I know like for some of the bigger properties they release them as auctions rather than like.
I'd be very interested to see Crypto.com get into Upland to buy their own.
That would be
stadium.
Cool.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point.
My dad sent me a text that said somebody just invest. JP Morgan is the first bank into the metaverse. They bought land in Decentraland, and they're advertising JP Morgan in Decentraland.
Oh
like,
God.
kind of cool. Like,
I mean, honestly, it makes sense. Like, there's no reason to have to go to a physical bank. You should be able to go into something like Decentraland and go up to a bank counter as if it's a real bank.
Yeah.
It's frustrating how hard it was to send money from the bank account the other day. It's like, what is this? Like, I can do like pretty complicated crypto shit, but why can't I send from one account to another? I have the account numbers. Where do they go?
Oh yeah, Sanyika, I saw you got some property in Immerses. Did you get a penthouse? Are you big ballin' in Immerses?
We got a store.
Did you get a smaller size one?
We got a store for NFT Gamer and had a bit of a bidding war over it for sure.
Those things went crazy. I didn't know what to expect, but man, they popped off.
We have the most expensive store though, so
fuck yeah.
At least we can say that.
Yeah.
I like
did you get like a residential one too, or just the storefront?
I didn't have enough to get residential after that bid. I was gonna go for it, but after they kept bidding back at me, I was like, I'm not even gonna play with the other things and if I had, like, the wax would have been stuck there and then I wouldn't have been able to get it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because I was gonna bid on the last penthouse, but I wanted to make sure we got the store first, and they definitely made it impossible to do both.
Yeah.
That's cool. Dan's like a partner mentor.
Yeah.
These pictures are really great. I like the art style a lot.
Yeah, Elix did a fantastic job on it. And Das as well.
So I just got an alert that crypto's dumping pretty hard across the board right now.
That's why I'm actually excited.
I'm so fucking thrilled about this. I'm short as fuck against all like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then the stock market too. And I'm just like, I'm in heaven right now.
And then Biden is expected to issue a wide-ranging regulation of crypto in the next week.
Oh, baby, let's go.
Yeah, dude.
It's about time.
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, let's go. That Tranquil protocol that I talked about at the beginning of our stream, you can use that to short sell the market on chain by collateralizing your crypto like stable coins.
I was about to ask you what you're shorting with.
Yeah, that would be a 401 class.
I do it on
shorting the
Harmony
market
blockchain.
on lending protocols with Max.
Not only shorting the market, it's
5401.
a decentralized platform.
It's a decentralized platform, so it's like it's on chain. It's like the compound protocol on Ethereum. I have wrapped Bitcoin, I deposit that, and then I'll like borrow something against it. But now that I don't like Bitcoin price, I take stablecoin, deposit it into the protocol, borrow Bitcoin against it, take the Bitcoin onto like Uniswap, sell the Bitcoin for the stablecoin, deposit that back into the same protocol on the collateral side. So now I have a Bitcoin position open, collateralized by about more than double what it is worth in dollars stable coins. And now as the Bitcoin price is falling, my commitment is to repay that Bitcoin loan in Bitcoin. So
so then your
I can buy
dollar
back
will go
and
farther.
I can keep the difference as my profit and effectively create a short sell without a broker.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the fucking markets never close, and I never ever run into the issue of like, oh, the like website is overwhelmed because markets are going crazy, so like you can't log into your fucking account, because that did happen in the past. That's happened to me. So I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I got to find a way to do this on chain.
Well, and you'll never have something like Robinhood. I don't know if y'all were in Robinhood.
Yeah, that was bullshit as fuck.
Yeah,
controlling people's accounts basically, and forcing them to sell.
They fucked me there. I mean, I still have something on Robinhood right now. Yeah, there's what are they called? Like ETFs that will let you get exposure short or long to like the index funds. Like SPXS is one that I had, which is short exposure to the S&P 500 by 3x inverse leverage. So if the S&P drops 1 point, the SPFX goes up 3 points. And then I bought fucking call options on that. Boom.
To SPFX.
To SPXS.
SPXS, yeah.
SPXS.
So
I bought tons of call options on that.
Yeah, so it's 3 times inversely leveraged. So for every
percentage, over, he says, I know some words, or maybe most are English, but maybe this would be a good substitute for learn. That's how I feel. I live with Max, and I don't know half of
it very much is like that.
I'm honestly kind of glad Robinhood did that.
Oops.
Sorry. I was happy when Robinhood did that because that definitely pushed me more toward crypto. I was like, screw this. I don't want somebody taking control over my assets that I paid for. This is ridiculous.
That was during the GME thing, right?
Yeah, the GameStop short.
Yeah. That I was trading on Robinhood during that too, and that fucked me. Like it locked me out of being able to trade.
Like maybe a day or two before it hit mainstream, and then as soon as Robinhood froze me out, I cashed out, and uninstalled the app.
I moved a lot of my money off of it over to Fidelity, but Robinhood lets you Robinhood fronts you money when you sell a share or an option. You can immediately take that money and buy another share or option on their platform, and they're paying for that until the behind the scenes stuff settles. So most brokers don't do that. So I do still trade a little bit on Robinhood if it's.
Have you ever used Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade?
I have an account at TD Ameritrade too. But
their Thinkorswim
not bad. I think Fidelity
does the same thing.
Yeah, TD Ameritrade.
They like spot you.
Yeah, hold on, I gotta turn up a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely like excited to see this like market turning down a little bit. We also like every Tuesday like look at the charts on stream too, and for the last like 2 months have been looking at the charts like this is short. I'm short. Like I'm selling. So it's fun to be like validated when I'm also like, publicly talking about what I think is going to happen as non-financial advice, obviously.
Good save.
Obviously not financial advice, but what I look at the chart and think of, I'm like, this is what I think, and this is what I'm going to do. And it's nice to know. I still kind of can see what's happening.
You guys have any closing words for anything you want to say about NFT Gamer TV? I feel like we've held you up for long enough. It's like an hour and a half. I mean, it's been a blast chatting with you, but I'm sure you're busy.
I'm really excited to like. to keep my eye on when the platform launches and I can start like learning and earning and stuff.
So the roadmap will come out next, and so you guys are looking forward to sticker drop and roadmap releases next. Sani has a bunch of interviews where we're the guests line up, and then obviously interviews where we're the host as well. So I guess just keep your eye out for those. Sam, anything to add?
Yeah, you said it all.
Nice.
It's also just a aside, but when you guys come to LA, hit up Max and I. We live in Van Nuys. And
Are you guys going to NFTLA?
We're not going to that, but I mean, just outside if you want to like grab lunch or something.
You're gonna get burgers never say
100%.
die. Fucking.
I think that's probably what we're most excited for, is going around and meeting people in person that like we've like
100%.
known for, I don't know, a year or more with a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean,
well, we did meet you in like a turtle suit.
Yeah, that's true.
That was fun.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, definitely like hit us up when you're in town.
Yeah,
100%. We will.
There's fucking, if you're not like from around LA, there's really good food. You don't really have to know where to look. It's really everywhere. But
salsa and beer changed my life.
Best salsa and beer is really fucking good. You didn't think it, but
awesome.
Burgers never say die. If you like smash burgers, it's the best fucking smash burger ever had.
I'm gonna rate the intro.
We really like
Thanks
food.
for joining us, everybody. Have a great remainder of your day. When are we streaming next? Tomorrow at 2 p.m. When are you guys streaming next? Do you have a stream coming up?
Oh, we're getting rated by a Neon or by a Hydrop right now. Or Hydro.
Oh shit! I just rated Hydro. I got to cancel that. I'll rate Our Planet. I've been complaining about them a bunch, but I don't know. They're streaming something.
Or maybe I was wrong. And that
tell
was
Our
your
Planet
raid.
Neon Space says hello.
I'm gonna raid Our Planet.
Fucking Our Planet.
We'll see if they have any.
Really.
I can't wait to see Bonds melt down again.
So Our Planet.
Yeah.
I think our next stream to look forward to, it's not scheduled yet, but we have a special Million on Mars stream coming up pretty soon. We just don't know the exact details of it, but I can tell you it's definitely going to be different and special. So just look out for that.
I think I was wrong about Hydro. If you do want to raid him, that was your raid,
I'll
and
try
I
to
totally
do it.
read that backwards. My bad.
I freaked out. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna break Twitch."
Yeah, it scared me. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen there.
MJ Doja. That's a hard answer. It's a hard question to answer. You be bidding on the APH on RDAO now or later. My like consensus on that is like you'll get more RDAO if you bid later because people are YOLOing into the early auctions with more. But I also think RDAO is going to go down in price over time. So it's like you might pay more, but it might be worth more. So it depends on what your intention is. If your intention is to hold RDAO and have more RDAO, it might be worth waiting. But if you want to get liquid into wax, it might be worth going sooner and taking a less RDAO while it's worth more. But it's like it's so speculative. It's really hard to say.
The numbers you should look at if you want to do the math yourself is the RDAO treasury. If you're staking RDAO right now, is paying out about 200 wax per hour to the total amount of tokens staked. There's a total of 5 million total RDAO tokens. If every one of those tokens were staked at 200 wax per hour, you could calculate how much one of your RDAO tokens would be printing. But then you would have to do the math on how quickly are they being distributed through this auction process and how quickly is that pool going to fill up and that 200 per hour be diluted among the participants to get your ROI back. So there's a complicated equation to do there, but those are the things to look at.
And you have like 2 days to figure out if you want to burn your elements. So good luck. There's such a short amount of time because this is not an easy thing to figure out. Even like if you understand it, just because you understand it doesn't mean that the data isn't there. You need time for the data.
That's the problem. Yeah, it takes time to collect data. We got like fucking 3 days and then 1 day to make a decision.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
so
still
in the
haven't made a decision
ambiguity, I
on my
feel like
biggest
dollar
one.
cost
me neither. I don't
averaging
fucking know what to do.
and just easing into it over time and averaging down is probably a good bet when you're in an ambiguous scenario like that.
It definitely looks like RDAO is the better value play at the moment, and it feels like I'm being strong-armed into doing that.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, we're rating into Hydro. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
See you.
All right.